EG 11005 IT Skills. Topic 2 Spreadsheets. This is the second part of the lecture about Microsoft Excel. In this lecture, we will continue to look at components necessary for producing correct calculations in Excel. They include how to work with Excel, the use of functions, and formatting of data in the spreadsheet. We'll start the lecture by discussing some important functions. Date and time functions. First, we will discuss functions available to deal with date and time. Excel understands dates and time in numerical terms, using days as a whole part of a number representing the date, where the counting starts from the 1st of January 1900. So this date is represented as 1. Time is represented by a fractional part of a number. For example, 6 a.m. is 0:25. The function now returns the number that represents the current date and time. For example, 1551 on the 12th of the 7th, 2011 is represented as 40,736.66,108. Date and time can be displayed in a custom format, which will be discussed later in this lecture. Matrix operations. This method is, for example, useful for solving linear equations. Let's consider a set of two linear equations. They can be presented in the following matrix equation. This equation can be solved by inverting the matrix and multiplying it by the vector on the right-hand side of the equation. This set of two linear equations can, for example, be entered into Excel as shown here. To solve this problem, we should invert the 2-on-2 matrix. This is done by using the minverse function. Since the inverted matrix is also 2-on-2, the minverse function should also be applied on 4 cells. This is achieved by selecting 4 cells and pressing the F2 key to edit those cells together. Next, the Control, Shift and Enter keys should be pressed simultaneously to enter the array formula into the selected cells. This results in the inverted matrix. Note that the expression in the function box above the spreadsheet is in curly brackets, symbolizing the array formula. We need to multiply the inverted matrix by the vector in cells D2 and D3. This is done by using the mmult function. The array formula should be used again because the product of a matrix and a vector is a vector. We select cells J2 and J3 and press the F2 key. Next, we press the Control, Shift and Enter keys simultaneously to enter the array formula into the selected cells. This results in the vector containing the solution of the set of two linear equations. As you can see here, the same method can be applied in Excel for solving large sets of linear equations with many variables. Formatting. Let us now discuss how to format cells to achieve a better presentation of data in a spreadsheet. Numbers can be formatted in different ways. Let's change the format of the following number as an example. The format of the cell is given in the Number Format box of the Number section on the Home ribbon. As you can see, the current format of the cell is set to General, which is the default format. This format shows 8 places of decimals, which is usually too many to display. This can be changed by selecting a different format in the drop-down menu of the Number Format box, or by clicking on the Decrease Decimal icon. Alternatively, the format of selected cells can be changed by clicking on the right mouse button and selecting Format Cells in the menu that appears. These actions bring up the Format Cells pane. The Number tab of this pane contains different format options. In the Category box, we can select the format Number and specify the desired number of decimal places in the Decimal Places box. Note that the Sample box shows how the format looks, while the Negative Numbers box allows selecting how negative numbers will be shown. After clicking OK, the format in the cell changes to the desired one. A similar format should be applied to most displayed numbers. Another format type is currency, which is used for dealing with different currencies. Its application requires specifying the currency symbol and the decimal places. As you can see, the number in cell A9 formatted using currency type has the pound symbol in front. Another option for dealing with currencies is the accounting format. After its application, the currency symbol appears on the left of the cell and the number to the right. The format date allows displaying the date in several different ways. The date can be input in different ways as well. The type box in the format cells gives different options for displaying the date. After changing the format of cell A9, the number in the cell is transformed into the date, where the days are counted from the 1st of January 1900. Selecting the first type of date format changes the number in the cell to the corresponding date. The date format type can be changed using the Format Cells pane. Here you can see another date format type. In selecting the date format type, it is important to make sure that the day and month are the correct way around. The format time represents the time since midnight as a fraction of the number in the cell formatted. For example, 6 a.m. means that it is 6 out of 24 hours in the day, which is a quarter of one day. The time format is applied only to the decimals of the number in the cell, while the integers are disregarded. The format percentage represents the number as an actual percentage, where 1 equals 100%. Therefore, 1.2 will be shown as 120%. Note that the only option available in this format type is the number of decimal places. Since the number in cell A9 is larger than 1, it is multiplied by 100 and a percentage symbol is added after the application of the percentage format. A number entered with a percentage sign automatically changes the format of the cell to percentage. Another format is scientific. This format presents the number using an exponent. This is not very useful for viewing numbers, as the exponent changes in steps of 1 where steps of 3 would have actually been better. The format text is used for displaying part numbers, matriculation numbers, and so on, because leading zeros are not removed, which happens in other formats. The number is still a number, but it must be converted to text if used in a text string. After applying this format, the number moves to the left of the cell, which symbolizes that it is now text. The last format is custom, and this format can be used to combine or alter different existing formats. Here you can see an example where the formats date and time are combined. Note that items such as units can be added to the custom format. It is important to remember that in all formats, the underlying number retains its original accuracy. Only the displayed representation of the number changes. Here you can see where spreadsheet cells were formatted using custom formats combining date and time and incorporating units, that is, Celsius. Note that the discussed formats can also be allied at the axis scales. In addition, the abscissa scale of the graph changed to the date format, while the ordinate scale changed to the custom format showing temperature. Conditional formatting is a very powerful tool for presenting data. It can highlight data depending on defined conditions. For example, temperatures can be highlighted in a way showing whether it is cold or hot. Marks can be highlighted to show how well students performed in an assessment. Conditional formatting can be introduced by selecting data and clicking on the icon Conditional Formatting in the Home ribbon. The drop-down menu includes many different types of conditional formatting. In the next step, a method of conditional formatting should be introduced. Let's say we want to introduce Highlight Cells rules. After selecting this option, an additional drop-down menu appears which allows us to select a formatting condition. Let's select the greater than condition. This action brings up the pane greater than, which allows specifying a condition and selecting the formatting to be applied to relevant cells. If none of the formatting options in the drop-down list are suitable, new formatting can be introduced by selecting Custom Format. This brings up a Format Cells pane that allows us to format a number presentation, the font, border, background of the cell. In the Fill tab, the cell background can be selected. If the default background colours are not suitable, a new colour can be introduced by clicking the button More Colours. In the appearing pane, an additional colour can be selected. Here you can see the application of customized conditional formatting to the selected cells with data. Existing conditional formatting can also be altered, or new formatting can be added. Here you can see an example of multiple conditional formats applied to the selected cells. This can be done by clicking on the icon Conditional Formatting and selecting the option Manage Rules in the drop-down list. This brings up the Conditional Formatting Rules Manager. As you can see, there are 4 conditional formats applied to the selected cells. New formats can be added or existing ones can be altered using this manager. And this is the end of our second part of the lecture on Microsoft Excel.